Hello, welcome to another haul and unboxing video for both December and January, because my December haul was just this. It wasn't very big, so I decided to combine it together with my January haul, which is this, so I'd like have a decent size haul for this video. So this is my December haul, this is my January haul. I didn't get a lot in December. It was Christmas and I got a couple of more expensive items, so I didn't get as much manga. So yeah, let's start with the December haul. So first up, I got some used manga from Scifier. And these are actually the only 4 volumes of manga I got for December. We had the Scifier started selling used manga, and these series were on there, and these 3 series are ones that I have had my eye on for years. They're all out of print, and they were all on. I had like a list of out of print series that I wanted to collect the most, and these 3 were on there. And they had the first volume of 2 of them, and the first 2 volumes of 1, so I grabbed them. And the first one is Her Majesty's Dog. This is an old shoujo series by Gokomi, which is a publisher you don't really see much of. Obviously they're defunct now, but the only other series I have by them is After School Nightmare. But it's a shoujo like action horror series, which revolves around this girl here, and she can fight. She fights against the supernatural and like demons and stuff. And she has this guy here who is a demon dog, and he takes a human form. And they work together to deal with ghosts and demons and supernatural entities. But in order for him to gain powers, she has to kiss him. So she has to kiss this guy in order to allow him to transform into like his dog form. And I have had my eye on the series for a long time. I've seen it around. Out of the 3 series, this is the one I see around the least anyway. I have seen like a couple of volumes here and there on eBay, but I've never seen a full set in the UK at least. But yeah, Sci-Fi had this one. They also had, I think, volumes 7 and 10 or something like that. They had a couple of the volumes, but I don't collect series out of order, so I just got the first one. It's an 11 volume series in total. It's going to be difficult for me to find the rest of it, especially if I have to get them in numerical order. If I can find a full set, that'll probably be the best option. But yeah, I haven't read it yet, but it's a series I've had my eye on for a long time, and I wanted to give it a go, especially since I heard it had like horror elements. The second series is an old shoujo by Tokyo Pop, and that is Shinobi Life Volume 1. I'm pretty sure Sci-Fi had a couple other volumes of this one as well. I think they had 3 and 6. But Shinobi Life was cancelled in English with only 6 volumes out. The series was completed in Japan at 13 volumes, and if I do enjoy reading this, the other ones aren't too hard to find. I have seen them around quite a bit. And if I enjoy the 6 that they were released physically, I could just always read the rest online. But this is I think it's like a reverse isekai with ninjas, where he is transported from the past into the modern age, and he was tasked with protecting a princess, and in the modern age he meets this girl who reminds him of that princess, so he starts protecting her. It's kind of like an action romance. But yeah, it's another one I've had my eye on for the longest time. Since near the beginning of me reading manga, these 2 series are ones I've been looking at. So I finally got the first volume of both, so I can give them a go, and if I enjoy them, I can maybe try a bit harder to track down a full set. And the last one I managed to pick up was Plus Anima Volumes 1 and 2. This is a 10 volume long shonen series. It did get complete in English. It is Tokyo Pop. But out the 3, this one's the easiest one to come by. I've seen several sets of this on eBay before, so if I like this one, I don't think it'll be too difficult to find the rest. But this one is about a group of children who have animal features, and they live in this fantasy world, but they're ostracized because they have these animal features. I think this guy's a crow, and then this girl here is a mermaid, and they're journeying around to try and find a place they belong in the world. The art style in this one is not my favourite. It's very old school shonen art style, but I have been intrigued by the story of this one for a while, and I've wanted to give it a go. And I think I got all these volumes for like £3 each on Sci-Fi's used section, so if I end up not liking this one, I haven't spent a lot on it, and I just won't bother with the rest. But yeah, again, it's a series I've been after for a while, because I've always been interested by the premise of these like animal children. And this cover's like, they're kind of like sideways. All the covers are like this. But yeah, that's all the manga I picked up in December. It was just those 4 volumes. I haven't read anything yet, but the reason I didn't pick up as much manga, obviously the main reason is because I got 2 items here which will work a bit more expensive than what I usually pay for manga. Because, well, first anyway, I have the Fruits Basket Complete Anime art book. This is the like English release of the Japanese one. The Japanese one was in 3 separate volumes, and then they corrected them all together. I have double dipped on this one. The main reason being is because there is a lot of text in these, and there's author comments, which like she makes comments about the artwork and stuff, and I really wanted to read those. So I think it was worth double dipping, especially since this is actually bigger than the Japanese release. Like if I go like grab a Japanese volume for reference, so like this is the Japanese one, and it's quite a bit bigger, and obviously it's all 3 of these combined into one. So yeah, with the bigger artwork and the English text, I think it was worth getting this one again in English. Yeah, that's the Fruits Basket Complete Anime illustrations, and the illustrations in this are very nice as well. And next up, this is like probably the most expensive item I bought in December, and that is the Yona of the Dawn illustrations for the anniversary expedition, the 20th anniversary. There was an expedition in Japan of like for Yona of the Dawn for the 20th anniversary, and they were selling these, and they were exclusive to the exhibition, but there was like resellers selling them online, and like they weren't like, the resellers were like obviously overpricing them, but I did get like people on Twitter mentioning that people were selling it on a place called, I think it was Macari, for a reasonable price, and I looked, and Macari I don't think ships to the UK normally, but I went through a proxy service called One Map from Japan, and they like work as a proxy for like several different websites, and Macari was one of them. So I just typed in Akatsuki no Yona on there. Typing in Yona of the Dawn doesn't work, it doesn't bring it up. You have to type in Akatsuki no Yona. But I typed that in on there, and it came up with a bunch of them that were on Macari, as well as a few on other websites. And I found one that was like a decent price, and so I grabbed it because this is just beautiful, especially this front cover. It's absolutely gorgeous, and look how thick it is as well, and the back cover too. It's like got the dragon in it, and the artwork in this is just absolutely gorgeous as well. I posted some of my favourite pictures from this on Instagram not long after I got it, and yeah, it's just great. It has all the cover illustrations in here up to volume 42, I think. It has all the magazine cover illustrations for the covers of the magazine and stuff. It also has some other like works in the back, as well as a crossover artwork between like Yona at the Dawn and Berserk. And yeah, it's probably my favourite art book that I own. I love the cover so much that I'm actually displaying it in my cabinets rather than keeping it with the rest of the art books. It's fantastic. As I say, I did pay a bit extra for this, but I think it was worth it because it's just so great. And the other thing I got this month, which was like a bit more on the expensive side, is it's not actually a manga or an art book. It's Loving Reaper by Jenny Jinya. It is a comic. But I have been aware of Jenny Jinya's work since she first started posting them on Facebook. Like when she first did her first work, which was the Black Cat one. So I have been aware of her works for a while. And she posts them on Webtoon now. You can read them all on Webtoon. But Jenny Jr. is an artist who she does the Loving Reaper series, which is about a Grim Reaper who takes away the souls of animals. And most of these stories are very sad. They're about the animals that have been abused and abandoned, are wild animals. And each story kind of comes with a message at the end about helping these animals and stuff. Like, each one. So these are very sad stories. If you don't want to read stories that obviously contain a lot of animal death and like animals suffering, I would not recommend you pick this up. But they are very beautiful stories, and they like send a message. And the proceeds from this also go to help animal charities as well. But apparently this book's been out quite a few years, but I wasn't aware of it because the only place you can actually buy this from is Jenny Jr.'s website. If you type Loving Reaper into Google, it's like the first or second one that comes up. She's also done a Kickstarter to get some plushies, and I've like pledged to that, and I think they're coming in March. I think they're being sent out because the Kickstarter was successful. This also came with a bookmark as well as a couple of stickers. Now I can't remember where I put the bookmark. I think it might have been in here. Yeah, there it is. It came with this bookmark, and it also came with a couple of stickers which I have on the side of there. Yeah, again, it's a very beautiful release. I say it was a bit more expensive, but it is a very nice release. It's hardback, it's big, it's got like the gold on it. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I would recommend you check out her works if you think you can like handle the sadness of them. Anyway, and that is all I picked up for in December. So we're going to move on to my January haul, which I'm going to be unboxing because it just came like a couple of hours ago, apart from the one on the top. The one on the top I got from Backwest. So this here is No Touching at All, and this is a re-release of this BL one-shot. It's like Koryonada, it's one of her most famous ones, but this is without a print for years. But then June put this back in print, and the spin-off series and even Survival Review Tendery is also getting a second edition too. But the only place I could get this was Blackwell's. SciFi didn't have it. It was sold out on Amazon. It was quite a pain to get a hold of, actually. But yeah, it's a BL series about two people who have like traumatic pasts and are like kind of coming together and like trying, like healing each other and like trying to see if they can move on to a new relationship or something like that. But yeah, interested to read that one. I have read some stuff by Koryonada before, so gonna be getting into that one. And anyway, let's get into the main event of opening up this box. I already cut the tape off the top of it to make this easier because you noticed in the last two videos I kind of struggled with that, but yeah, I removed the tape already. But we need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of this. A lot of paper. There's a lot of paper. Oh, are they all wrapped in one this time? Because sometimes they're separate. Just uncurl the bubble wrap and grab the bookmarks. Ooh! Less bookmarks this time. Usually there's an abundance, but we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bookmarks. And then into the big stack here. There's like 25 volumes in here, I think. And I think they're all wrapped in this one piece of bubble wrap, which I will just move to the side and just grab them out one at a time. So first we have Love Nest Second. This is the continuation of Love Nest. Where, like, obviously it's Love Nest Second, but this is volume 1. I think there's 2 volumes of this. I really like Love Nest. It's my favourite part of like the Yu Minaduki like series. And yeah, so this was actually been out a while, I think, and I just forgot about it, but yeah, I grabbed it. it's a BL about... He is one of the guys from Change World and Sayonara Game, and he moves... his neighbours are noisy, so he moves house, and the guy who works at the bar he frequents suggested he move into one of his houses. But what he doesn't know is that this guy's already living there, and they kind of start living together, and like he falls for him. And yeah, I enjoyed this. So this is the second one. Next in here we have My Lovesick My Lovesick Life as a 90s Otaku. This is a new Josei series about this woman who's reminiscing about her time when she was in high school in the 90s, and how she had to hide the fact that she was an otaku because it was kind of frowned upon, and like she would have been an outcast. I'm pretty sure the book here she's holding is Magic Right to Rayeth. But yeah, she's now a woman in her, I think, 30s, and she has a teenage daughter, and she's just reminiscing back on her time as when she was an otaku in high school in the 90s. Obviously, I haven't read any of these yet, but this one sounded fun. It says it's for fans of Wotakai. And it should be an interesting read. Next up is Volume 9 of Cherry Magic. This has just gotten anime recently. I think the first episode aired on Crunchyroll a couple of days ago. Obviously, I haven't watched it yet because I'm more of a binge watcher. I like to wait till series finish and then binge them. Especially if they're going to be getting a dub. I'll all the way to see if they get a dub as well. So yeah, Cherry Magic is another BL. It's an office romance. It's a cute one. And we're on Volume 9. Next in here is another BL, and it's my absolute favourite BL, and that is Given Volume 8. The penultimate volume. There's only one more volume after this, and I don't think it comes out until like September or something stupid like that. But yeah, we have to wait quite a while for the final volume, but this is Volume 8. Continuing on with like the Hiragi mix and the Hiragi mix up to chapter 17. But yeah, love Given. It's my favourite BL ever. Love the anime as well. I actually kind of prefer the anime over the manga just because you can like hear the music. This is a music series. They're a boy band, so it is best to be able to hear it in the anime. But yeah, Given's great. If you want a BL that's a bit more like, not like completely void of sexual content, but it's very, very low on the sexual content. There's a blowjob in one volume, but I think that's about it. But yeah, I would highly recommend BL to like beginners of BL and also like veterans too, because Given is just excellent. I love Given. Next up is another BL. Last month was quite low on the BL, but I seem to be making up for it this month. We have this series here which has very loose plastic wrap. It is Anyhow the Rabbit is Infatuated with the Puppy. I think this one that's about the... No, this isn't the one that is about the vet. That's the other one. A sweet and sexy boys' love story. Usagi Aku is a 25-year-old office worker. He's a total introvert who lives for two things: shoujo manga and the spare moments when he can log into his favourite MMO, the Tail Earth. There his avatar is a beautiful bunny girl, and he's able to go on adventures with the charming wolf boy Gakuto. When Gakuto asks Akira wants to meet up IRL, Akira agrees. Sparks fly, despite both of them being guys, and Gakuto and Akira decide to date. Neither has much experience when it comes to romance, but these two are eager to figure out together. Yeah, this one sounded like it might be cute. Obviously, it's mature, so there's going to be some sexy time in there as well. Yeah, the cover, I don't know much about this one, but the cover looked cute, and I like the sound of the premise too, and it involves like gaming and stuff like that. Next up, we have Rony Castle in the Mirror, Volume 1. This is a series by the author of... Well, the light novel of this is by the same author as the light novel of A School Frozen in Time, as well as Anime Supremacy and Yami Horror. So yeah, I've liked A School Frozen in Time. The manga adaptation, I haven't read the light novel. And I have the light novels of Anime Supremacy and Yami Horror, but I haven't read them yet. But I'm pretty sure the novel for this one is available in English through... I don't think it's through a manga publisher, though. But yeah, this is the anime adaptation. The manga adaptation. I think there's a film of this as well. But it involves kids who get sucked into a mirror world and they have to play a game in order to escape, as far as I remember. It does have a film, it says right there. Kokoro is a junior high school student, but after years of bullying, she's become so anxious that she's no longer going to school. One day she's pulled through her full-length mirror and into a castle in another dimension by a girl in a wolf mask. The mysterious girl tells Kokoro and 6 other kids that they will compete in a scavenger hunt. If one of them finds a key that unlocks a secret room, that person will get one wish granted. As long as they observe the rules of the world, they can come and go as they please. The 7 kids gradually grow closer as they explore the castle, but the scavenger hunt is never far from anyone's mind. After all, only one can win their heart's desire. So I think it's kind of like a death game, but without the death game, because these kids don't really have to fight each other. They just have to compete to find the key. But there might be some underhanded play and violence at work if some of them get desperate or something like that. I'm not sure. I have not read it, but it sounded very interesting. I haven't seen the film. But yeah, I wanted to give this one a go. Next up, we have Boys Abyss Volume 3. This is a very messed up Greek series, but I'm enjoying it. I like messed up Greek series. It's a bit like Shuzo Oshimi, if you like his stuff. But yeah, it's about a boy who lives in a small town, and his life's not very enjoyable, really. He's being bullied, his mother's overworked, and is pushing for him to finish school so he can get a job at his bully's father's company, which he's dreading because he knows he's going to be taken advantage of there. His brother's abusive, his grandma's got dementia, and everything's just overworked. And he meets this idol who comes to work at a convenience store, and he kind of gets into a situation with her. Quite a lot of the characters are dickheads, apart from the main boy, obviously, and his friend, this girl here. But she's also getting herself kind of involved in things that are not good for her and are kind of questionable. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens next. I think the series is ending soon. I think it was announced. Next, we have Mimi's Tales of Terror. This is illustrated by Junji Ito. I don't think he wrote the stories. I think he just illustrated it. But I think this is based off of Japanese urban legends. And the original stories by Katsu Kihara and Ichiro Nakayama. Rowan has he's in the other room and he's noticed something out the window. Probably another dog. But yeah, it's short stories revolving around Japanese urban legends, and then Junji Ito did the artwork. So I tend to pick up everything that is Junji Ito. So yeah. Next in the box we have Last Game Volume 3. This is obviously... I liked Last Game Volume 2 more than I like Volume 1, and I reckon I'll continue to like it more the further I get into it, because I did... Volume 1 I wasn't sure about, but I did actually quite like Volume 2 quite a bit more, so... I think I will actually start liking the series more the more I read it. And the more the characters grow on me and stuff, but this is a shoujo romance that's set in college that it's came out in 2010, I think. But this is one that's been well requested in English for a long time that we're finally getting. Next up is the final volume of Love of Kill. Hello, Rowan. He's been to the groomies, he's nice and fluffy. Did you just knock all that over? No, he's just playing with the cardboard. Okay, don't need that. This is the final volume of Love of Kill, and this was a December release, and most of these I have here are January releases. November releases. Most of the volumes I have here were released in November. And I haven't bought most of them that were released in December yet, but I got this one because it's the final volume and I just want to know how the series ends. Yeah, it's a josei romance action involving 2 hitmen. And this is the final volume, and I'm finally going to know how it ends, because I've been wanting to know how that series ends for ages now. And he's eating the paper. But that's not surprising, really. Next, I have My Dog is a Death God, Volume 1. This one sounded like it would be very sad, and I'm kind of into sad stuff. Oh, just don't. You can rip up the paper if you want. Just don't stand on the manga, please. So yeah, this one's about a dog, a death god, who takes the form of a dog in order to ease people into the next life. And I think he starts working at a retirement home or a care centre. No, don't eat the box or something like that. But yeah, it sounded like it would be an emotional read, and it's got a dog in it, and I've just got to pick up stuff with dogs in them, and I quite like emotional reads. But yeah, I think he's helping ease people's souls into the next life, but he's taken on the form of a cute golden retriever. Next in the box is How I Met My Soulmate, Volume 1. What are you doing? I think he likes the paper. Are you settled now? Are you gonna stop making a noise? No. Right. This is by the same author as Waiting for Spring. This is by the same author as Waiting for Spring, which is a series I enjoyed. It's one of the only series I read digitally, because I'm not usually into reading digitally, but that series was out of stock at the time, and I only managed to get 2 volumes physically, so I just read the rest digitally. It's one of the few series I have complete on my Kindle, other than just random like volume 1s of light novels and manga that were never released physically, that I got either on sale for like 1 pence or 50 pence or something like that, or when Kodansha gave some away free. So How I Met My Soulmate is by the author of Waiting for Spring. It's a college romance, I do believe. It's a college romance that mediates on just what destiny means and whether the one is very out there. That's kind of a bit difficult to read when you're looking through the camera. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she meets someone who in college who she thinks is her soulmate. But I have heard some people really like this one and some people really not like this one, so oh, the artwork is very Waiting for Spring-ish. That's interesting. I like the artwork of Waiting for Spring. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Next is Spy Family Volume 10. I really like Spy Family. I think it's a good comedy. It's good slice of life. Anya's funny. The parts where she's at school are like some of the best, and some of the chapters in the previous volume, I really like them. Especially the ones that involve Bond. Anything that involves a cute dog. Yeah, that's Spy Family Volume 10. We have little Lloyd on the cover. And next in the box is Tsubaki-chan Rony Planet Volume 5. I continue to like this one. It's an age gap. I honestly don't mind, though. I read quite a few age gaps. But yeah, this is Mika Yamamori, same as in the Queer Moon at Dusk, and Daytime Shooting Star, which I still need to get on reading. I've read the first one, but I haven't got around to reading the rest yet. Yeah, that's that one. And next is a one-shot, and it's quite thicker than I thought it would be. This is Gold Kingdom and Water Kingdom. I think this is a josei. It might be a shoujo, though. I think it's a josei. I know it got a film recently, and the film's supposed to be really good, but I don't think there's any way to actually watch it. But it's a fantasy series about 2 kingdoms who I think are at war, and in order to gain peace, they're asked to send the most attractive man from one kingdom and the most attractive woman from the other kingdom, and then they're meant to marry and unite the kingdoms and bring peace and stuff, but the kingdoms end up sending like these two people as kind of a joke. Something like that. Once upon a time, two kingdoms, one rich in gold, the other rich in water, shared a border. The two nations were always fighting until an agreement was struck. The most beautiful girl in the Gold Kingdom would marry the smartest man in the Water Kingdom, binding the two nations together. However, both sides tried to revenge on the deal by sending animals instead. Sarah, a low-level princess, is selected to wed a man from the Water Kingdom, but is sent a puppy in place of a groom. Meanwhile, the candidate from the Water Kingdom, Naranbaya, is saddled with a kitten. When Sarah and Nambaya meet, they decide that in order to stop a war between the countries, they will pretend to be in love. Will their plan work, and what if real romantic feelings blossom between them? You are usually quite good at getting yourself out of rooms. Yeah, I think it's a fantasy romance. It's just a one volume and it has a film. But yeah, it sounded interesting and I like my shoujo fantasy series, so there's that one. There's quite a few new volume 1s in here, actually. Honey Lemon Soda Volume 4, this is not a new Volume 1. Yeah, I really like the series. I really like the series more the more I read it. It was on my it was one of the top 10 of the year from last year, and I'd only read 3 volumes. So yeah, I really like it. It's a shoujo romance. The characters and the art style is very cute too, and sparkly and nice. Next in here is another new volume 1, and this one's actually, a light novel. This is Agents of the Four Seasons, Dance of Spring. This is by the author of Violet Evergarden. Now, I've never read Violet Evergarden for obvious reasons. It's not in English. But I did really like the anime. I really like the anime. So yeah, and I saw that this was getting an English release, and it was by the author of Violet. I don't know if this has pictures in it. By the author of Violet Evergarden, I decided I had to pick it up. No idea when I'm going to read this because I have such a backlog of books and light novels that... Oh, was that a picture? That I don't know when I'm... Oh, it is. There is pictures in here. When I'm actually going to get around to it, but it'll go on my ever-growing list of things that kept getting changed around and bumped up, and I'll get to it at some point, but yeah. I'm pretty sure it's about weather. The weather... each person indicates a different season or something like that. Winter was once the only season in the world, but such an existence was too lonely to bear, and so it created spring, to love. Before long, the earth wished for more time to rest in the cycle, and summer and autumn were born. The ones who carry the cycle are called the agents of the four seasons. Hinagiku, the agent of spring, disappeared from this land 10 years ago, taking the season of spring with her. Now, after incredible hardship, she has returned to restore the cycle to its proper state, and as in the myth passed down since the dawn of time, she sends her love to winter. So it's a bit vague, but I think it's a bit... Yeah, these people are... I think... Yeah. They represent the seasons, and she's spring and he's winter, I believe. But yeah, I've heard very good things about it. Next is, let's see, my Summer Review Volume 3. This is another one that I didn't realise was out, and so I probably grabbed it late. Yeah, I didn't even realise this was getting a Volume 3, and then I saw that it was, and then I forgot that it was, and then I remembered when I saw it on Twitter, and then I was like, oh yeah, that exists, and I grabbed it. Yeah, I really like the first 2 volumes, and any more from this series I will gladly read. And what's next is, these are just in a random order because we've got big ones and small ones mixed together. This is Call the Name of the Night, Volume 3. I've recently learned that I think this this series is only 5 volumes long, from what I heard. But yeah, it's a seinen fantasy slice of life. Artwork is very nice. It's about a little girl, I think she's 10 years old, who can call. She has this affliction where she calls when she's like stressed or anxious or excited. She tends to call the night to her and like surround everything in darkness. And in order to try and cure this, she goes to live with this doctor, who I think is also a wizard. And this guy here's a postman, I do believe. And he like has become like her caretaker and is looking after her as he finds a way to heal her ailment. It's quite cute, and the artwork's fantastic. And these covers are just very nice as well. I don't think there's many left. How many is left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6 left. Next is a one-shot called One More Step, Come Stand By My Side. I think this is a bunch of short stories. I think it's a seinen. But I think it's a bunch of short stories, including one called something. A kidnapped and blindfolded princess's time in darkness with her silent caretaker. The 10 minutes an ordinary woman spends with her tied-up stalker, and these all involve being tied up. The last 6 months a man has before he loses his beloved wife to cancer. There were a few of the moments we share with the characters brought to life by Toyumon Takeda in this collection of 7 short stories, including a highly acclaimed My Wife Whom I Love Dearly. But what will become of each of them? Yeah, I think they're supposed to be like a bit more emotional stories, and like 2 of them seems to involve kidnapping. Yeah, I was interested to read this and like see what these short stories are like, especially if like they're more emotional. I said I quite like an emotional story. Next is I think Lord Hades Roof of Marriage. This is like based in Greek mythology. And it's about Hades gets shot in the head by Cupid's arrow, and now the first person he looks at he's gonna fall in love with. But I think the first person he looks at is this girl, and then she's helping him find a partner. And obviously it's based around Greek mythology, and he has to find like a wife or something, and she's like helping him out. But I saw the cover art, and I thought it looked very nice, and the story sounded like it would be a good time. I think it's a comedy, and I think it's only a short series as well. I think it's like less than 10 volumes. And next we have 15 Minutes Before We Really Date. This one looks super cute. It's about, I think they're either in high school or middle school, but it's about a couple like in the time before they start dating, I think. But the artwork looked very nice. It looked very cute. Growing up in the same apartment complex, Yuki and Natsuha have known each other forever. They've been friends for so long that everyone just assumes they're a couple. But as they both approach the final stretch of high school, they are in high school, they get a silly, totally not serious idea. What if they actually started dating? What a ridiculous thing to say and rest. Yeah, I thought the artwork for this one looked very cute, and also it sounded like it'd be quite cute as well. And apparently it starts with them breaking up. But yeah. Next in here is here we go. Associate Professor Akira Takatsuki's Conjecture. This one's quite fatter than the first one was. I really liked Volume 1. I thought the mysteries were intriguing, and I thought the characters were even more intriguing. The characters are what drew me into this. I'm interested in learning more about them and their backstories, and the mysteries behind them more so than other stuff. But yeah, it's set in college where this college student has the ability to detect lies, a bit like the girl from Usatoki Rhetoric. But no one knows he has this ability until he teams up with his professor, who is the professor of folklore studies, and he's interested in researching and the supernatural, and he's getting involved in cases that possibly involve the supernatural, and he's the one helping him out because he can detect lies. But yeah, if you are interested in Usatoki Rhetoric, then I would recommend checking this one out as well, because it's kind of a bit similar with the whole hearing lies stuff and having the duo detectives, but it involves the supernatural, whereas Usatoki Rhetoric's more grounded in reality, except for hearing lies part of it. But next is Ooh, another light novel. Royal Soldier and Rustful Beast. This is a steamship light novel. The first steamship light novel ever to be published. Does this have pictures in it? If it does have pictures in it, I might not want to point the camera at them because this is a steamship, but yeah, it does have pictures in it. A light novel romance of danger and desire. Noblewoman Griselle world is turned upside down when she's summoned to serve as the king's prized concubine. Her heart already belongs to her manservant Wallace. I'm not going to be able to read this without thinking about Wallace and Gromit every time I hear the name Wallace. I'm going to be like, do you want some Wensleydale? A soldier who worships the ground she walks on. Just as Griselle accepts that their blissful days are numbered, Wallace steals into her room in the palace with a desperate, hungry gaze. Spending the night with him is tantamount to treason, but their love is not one so easily denied. So yeah, she's having sexy times with Wallace in the bedroom behind her, like, arranged husband's back. It sounds good. It's steamship. And last in the box is Don't Call It Mystery 5 and 6. This is another one that released in December, but I grabbed along the November stuff because this is one of my new favourites. This is my favourite of last year. I absolutely love it. And I wanted to find out what happened with the mystery in the end of the previous volume and get to what happens next. And it has a Christmas tree on the front, so releasing in December was kind of like, it was appropriate. So I'm just wondering what interesting mysteries we have in this volume and how they wrap up the one from the end of the last one. And anyway, that is it for the haul. There's nothing left in the box apart from a bunch of bubble wrap. Anyway, and Rowan's back the paper. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's going to be it for this haul and for this video. And I will see you for my next video, which will most likely be an unhaul because I need to make space for this on the shelves. And yeah, I will see you then, and bye.